Hello, this is Dr. J, back with some more Let's Play Vixen 357. So the last mission was a bit rough. I ended up accelerating it in post, so I didn't keep a lot of my commentary just because it dragged out so long. But that mission had what I called the recycle grinder, which is to say that I was fighting tons of enemies, and when I would knock them down to low hit points, they would retreat back to their bases to get healed up and then come back and I'd have to fight them again. I actually found that more annoying than the fact that the bases cranked out an extra 50 mechs for me to fight. The recycle grinder was just... oh man. But that mission's behind us, so let's move on to new and better things. Well, hopefully better things. Todorov, the Merciless General. Ah, okay. The enemy has figured out that Keel betrayed them, and so now they're taking countermeasures, counterintelligence. Well, that's reasonable of them. Oh hey, one of the non-plot critical characters actually gets the line. I mean, if he were like a double agent and were actually betraying us, it would be kind of weird that he's already helped us to destroy 2 of the 4 grand arcs and obliterate the enemy's mech production facilities. That seems like that doesn't make a lot of sense if he were actually a double agent. Anyway, so yeah. They said it looks like this isn't actually Todorov's base because there's only 4 mechs here. And 1 base with the rocket launcher in the middle of kind of an island. What are our conditions? Enemy leader killed. Takio Benner Keel dies as usual. So my official prediction is that there's going to be an ambush. That, like, I go here to just destroy this seemingly weakly defended base and a ton of enemies pop out. I mean, that pretty much has to happen, right? This isn't going to be much of a mission otherwise. Let's see. So how do I want to approach? Maybe fly down to the south, deploy my guys on this shore. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I should just go straight for it. Oh, our animation's on. We spent the vast majority of last mission with animations off, which was a good decision because it took me over 2 hours to finish that mission, even with animations off. Lord only knows how long it would have been if I had left them on. Ridiculously long. You know what? We can actually deploy the sniper team from here. Have them in the mountains. So, that will be Mac Ryan, first of all. We'll give you the Nelson this time, Mac Ryan. Ooh, getting the range right is hard because the bazookas got a very narrow band of valid targeting. Okay, but I got it right. Fire the sonic fireballs. Dum, dum. And next up, Nina. You get a Swift. Or do I want to give her back the ferry? Nah, I'm going to give her a Swift again. And I think this should also be in range, and it is. Yeah, I've decided that Reiko is officially the new ferry pilot because of her better defensive abilities, so I feel safer putting her in the middle of a big group of enemies to use the cluster missiles. Nina's defenses aren't quite as good, so it is a riskier play to do it with her. Alright, and then last member of the sniper team. Let's see. Now, Eddie is strictly short range. Keel and Takia, their official ranged weapon, the blaster, is not super long range, but I think that I can get them in range of that guy if the mountains don't slow them down too much. Yeah, 3 to 6. And how far? Oh yeah, I can get into range, no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. Put Takia there. Didn't quite get the kill. However, Keel should be able to pick up... Oh, Keel's almost max level. Actually, is he max level? I think level 9 is the highest you can get in this game. I should avoid feeding him more experience then. It's just a waste. So, how about Reiko? Because she... What level is she? 7. My guys are getting close-ish to max level, aren't they? Well, I think we are approaching the end of the game, so... Makes sense. Alright. Reiko, can you pick up the kill? 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be at the very edge of her range. And it is. Nice work, Reiko. Alright, it's one enemy down. Oh wow, Takia is almost max level too. Guess he's almost as good as he's ever going to get then. Okay, I think I'm going to hold the other... I'm going to hold Keel and Eddie in reserve. I'm going to deploy Che and put up the shield. Right, so... The Panacea... Sorry, I'm simultaneously thinking about a lot of things at once, so... Commentary may be suffering. I'm kind of trying to predict how the ambush is going to go down. But that's futile. I probably shouldn't bother. Interesting music. Ah yes, we are in range of the enemy base's rocket launcher. No big deal. We're in the mountains and we have a shield up, so it's not really going to accomplish anything. Alright, well, let us continue the sniping operation. Just snipe them down from across the water, I guess. It occurs to me, there is a river bisecting this whole map. I could contemplate deploying the Namoon, but most of the map is mountains, so that might not be the best play. Nope, need to move Nino a little closer. Here should do. And I reckon at this point we can skip animations until some new enemies show up to throw a wrench in the works. Alright, Takuya should be in range if I move him here. Okay, and Reiko, move her one closer and she can attack the next guy. Oh, the Dread, of course, can get off a shot. Do want to focus down one enemy as much as we can. Alright, and move Harry to here. Yeah, you're not fooling me, mission. I mean, there's no way that one of the last missions in the game is just destroying 4 guys in one base. Also, the win condition is kill the enemy leader, and I'm pretty sure it's not a generic portrait, dude. Oh, right. Che has, like, no range whatsoever. Okay. Good enough. You know, guys, it's not a great play when you're being sniped from across a river to just sit next to the base and let me just pound on you until you die. You're not doing a good job of defending the base that way, fellas. I'm just saying. Okay, so Che, no offense, but you're in the way a little bit. Move back. Nina needs to get down here. Okay, to hit that guy. How far away is he from Reiko? Just a tiny bit. So if I move her to here... Oh, that wasn't even necessary. She was actually fine where she was. I couldn't quite visually parse the shading. This is pretty much just interactive cutscene territory right now, where we pick off the seemingly helpless base. As the player, it's quite obvious there's going to be an ambush. I don't know if the characters are going to realize that's coming. I'm still holding the other two in reserve. I don't know, maybe I should at least deploy Keel. There's not much reason to deploy Eddie yet, because this is strictly a long-range battle, and he is completely worthless at long range, which is fair enough, because he's an absolute beast up close, so I'm not going to hold his lack of ranged skills against him. Yep, not a whole lot going on. Slowly grinding down these few defenders. Alright, that's another one down. Maybe I should just start focusing on the base now. I mean, if this guy's in range, why not? Get a little more XP, right? Harry is still really lagging. Actually, my sniper team in general, level 6, 7, 6, that's pretty low. Che is also just 7, so I really want to focus on giving them experience to the extent that I can. Takia. Now the enemy is focusing heavily on him, but whatever, he can repair himself ad infinitum, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe I should move Che up closer and let her... Well, no, I want her near the team so she can put up shields for the inevitable ambush. Okay, that's another turn down. What kind of ranged weapons do these guys have? Vulcans? No wonder. They have no range, and they're not... apparently not smart enough to come up and actually get close enough to fight me. It's like you guys aren't even trying. Whatever. If he wants to come up and attack Reiko, let him. Ah, for crying out loud, fine. Shoot the base. Now, I think all this commentary got edited out in the fast forwarding, but I was hard on Nina last mission because she was failing to get any kills whatsoever. She was not doing a great job. You need to pick it up, Nina. You can't just rely on being cute. You also have to be an effective pilot. Another kill for the Dread. Alright, the base is all that remains. Oh, there's the ambush. We knew it was coming. Okay, that's a lot of dudes. Well, Todorov, you're an interesting looking fellow, as most of our enemies are. This is the least surprising thing of all time. It is a little unfortunate that they get to attack in the same turn that they appear out of nowhere. Like, fair enough to the guys hiding in the mountains across the way, but how did we not see the guys in the mountains on our side of the river? Really, how did we not know? Ooh, okay. Okay, there's guys with cluster missiles. That is far from ideal. Nanigoto da! How? Maybe there were caves? I don't know. Okay, Reiko's nearly dead. That's not good. Just to state the obvious. Okay, she needs to retreat to the Dread to get repaired, and then I need her out and cluster missiling like a fiend. Okay, so where can she get to? Okay, just to there. So, Dread, get here. Reiko. Alright. So this is where it gets real. I'll leave animations on for a bit. Alright, where's the guys that have the cluster missiles? Rantzens, that's another new mech, right? Okay, the Ramilda has it. It's hard. Okay, there's 2 Ramildas, I think. That's rough. They're our primary targets, obviously. How are our shields? Quite a few people have lost their shields, so we need Che to get them back online. There we go. And now we need to focus down those Ramildas. No question about that. Hopefully we can kill at least one this turn. It's real bad when the enemy has 2 units that can use cluster missiles. That is a very deadly situation. Even 1 is bad, but it's somewhat more manageable. Also, we've been holding Eddie in reserve. Eddie, it's your time. You're not the only one who can ambush. Oh, well, I should have deployed him before I moved to Dread, so that was not a brilliant decision on my part. Most unfortunate. Or I should have at least given him the linear whip. Yeah. Tactical error on my part. A fairly serious one, because his damage output is huge. Of course that guy is just inside Mac Ryan's range. I might have to eat a loss and restart this mission now that I understand better where the enemy spawns from. Come up with some kind of strategy to deal with it better. Because obviously I had no way of knowing where the enemy reinforcements were going to come from. And where they came from just popping up right on top of me with a bunch of cluster missile dudes was really bad. So it would not surprise me if I take casualties and end up restarting the mission. We'll see. Especially if I can't even kill this Ramilda. It's really critical that I do so. But it's looking unlikely that I'm going to be able to. Okay, those 3 hits from Keel are certainly going to help. But I don't think they're going to be enough. Alright, we need Takia. Oh, man, if only I had deployed Eddie more intelligently, we could have gotten that guy. There's an outside chance Che could finish him, but no, there's not, because she's not in range. Well, that's sad. Dang, he survived with 1 hit point, and he's going to cluster missile us again. If I were to make any kind of prediction, my prediction would be we lose people and end up restarting. And, okay, I think everybody who can act has acted, yeah. Alright, well, this is looking dire. If the enemy drives up to where they can cluster missile my whole team, and both of them do that, which is what I would do if I were the enemy commander, then I think the fight's pretty much over. They might not be that smart, though. Well, somebody gained a level. It's a lot of energy. Okay, well, they only... Okay, yep. Alright. That went as expected. Oh, there's more guys with cluster missiles. Oh, joy. That's a loss then. I mean, you know, maybe I could fight on and grind a win out of this after taking more casualties, but then the remaining missions would probably be unwinnable. As far as I'm concerned, any casualties in this game with its permadeath, where we don't get tons of extra characters like in Fire Emblem games, is unacceptable. So, yeah, we're going to restart the mission. I'm going to try to come up with a strategy to account for where the enemy reinforcements spawn and deal with that. Okay, I'm back. It's been a few seconds for you. It's been hours for me. This is probably going to be the final update on Vixen 357. So off screen, I have tried to finish this mission over half a dozen times, I think 8 times, trying a wide variety of strategies and approaches, and every single time I start taking casualties. And as we've discussed many times, this game has permadeath. And even if I were to win the mission after I've lost units, the next mission will probably just be unwinnable, because I don't have my full squad. So I just can't figure out a winning path forward through this mission. Maybe if I were to keep trying, maybe if I tried it like another 10 times, I would finally figure out the magic formula, the secret sauce that allows me to clear the mission without losing any characters. But honestly, this stopped being fun several tries ago, and I'm not going to torture myself by trying this another however many times, 5, 10, 20 times, until I finally figure out the magic trick to beat this mission when I'm just not having fun anymore. Because to me, I find LPs far more enjoyable when the LPer is enjoying himself, when he's having a good time. I don't really like LPs so much where the LPer is playing a game that he's not enjoying. I actually have a couple LPs that I started and I just never finished them and never uploaded them for exactly that reason, because I just stopped having fun and I was like, well, what's the point of continuing then? And so I just won't even upload any of this. Now, I considered maybe just not uploading this LP either, because I typically record an entire series ahead of time rather than recording and uploading as I go. So I could just delete this whole series and forget about it. But I think I've decided against that, because up until this point, this game was really awesome. It's basically unknown as far as I'm aware, so it's cool to share it with people. So, yeah, I decided, what the heck. This time, I'm going to go ahead and post what I've got. Now, I don't know if this series is even going to garner many viewers. You know, probably not, because it's so obscure. So this may be unlikely. But in the event that someone is watching this and they have some kind of winning strategy for this level that I could do with my team, because I didn't do any stupid exploits to get all my people up to max level or anything, right? My team members' levels are as such: 8, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 7, 9. If you know of some strategy that with this team is a surefire way to win this level with no casualties, post it in the comments. I've still got my save. I will absolutely pick this game up again. Use your strategy, and if it works, I'll get past this level and then hopefully finish the game. Because supposedly this is the hardest level in the game. So it's not that I refuse to ever play this game again. I'm done with it now. And I'm done with it until some kind of brilliant new idea occurs to me that I think will allow me to defeat the stage. So, yeah, it sucks ending the LP this way. I much would have preferred to clear the game, but, well, it is what it is. Kind of disappointed, Masaya. You had a great game here, and then you threw this retarded level at me, and I hate it. It's stupid. I guess I'll just conclude by describing what about this mission is so ridiculous. It's a combination of factors. A, the map is tiny, combined with the enemy mechs being fast and having long-range weapons. That means you cannot run and gun. There is nowhere to run and hide. no matter where you go, the enemies are going to swarm you. And even if you put yourself in a corner of the map, which I tried on one of my attempts, the enemies on the opposite side of the map will be on you in 2 turns, or 3 at the most. And it's all mountains, so it's not like you can run. Your mechs will be way too slow. So there is no escaping the overwhelming number of enemies. 2, each group that spawns has 2 Ramildas. That is a total of 4 enemy mechs with cluster missiles. That is ridiculous. That is way too many enemies that have the super weapon that hits a ton of your guys at once for like 3 damage apiece. And I feel like I had another thing too, but I guess the other thing is the enemy boss is extremely durable and can heal himself. So there is 0 chance of getting a quick win by ambushing the boss. I tried that in one of my off-screen failed attempts too. Doesn't work. He's way too strong. You cannot come even close to taking him down in 1 turn. And he heals himself between turns. So combine all those factors and this mission is just... it's stupidly hard. It's harder than it needs to be. They really overdid it.